and in today's video we're going to show you how to do some basic configuration using your JetStor AFA 826iXD and a VMware host to map some volumes to that. So first off, we're going to go ahead and need to log into the unit itself. If it's IP here, going to go ahead and connect to that. When logging in, if you're doing this for the first time, the username is going to be admin, all in lowercase, and the password is 8 zeros. Once you've logged in, you're going to see the main dashboard here. And to go ahead and start getting this set up, we're going to need to set up some IP addresses for each of the ports on our controllers. So in order to do that, we're going to need to go over here to the iXD ports section. Go ahead and find controller 1, click on the down arrow, and you're going to want to set the IP address for that. Now in this case, we're going to use 10.0.1.1. Enter in all the applicable information for your controller. We're going to go down to controller 2 and set the IP address for that. Normally, when configuring this, it's always a good idea to have dissimilar IP addresses for troubleshooting purposes. You can figure out what's going on a little bit easier that way. All right, we have both of our IP addresses set here for each of our controllers. So next, we are going to need to go over to the Targets tab. And we're going to need to make sure to set the network address portal to use the port on each of our controllers. So on the onboard LAN, showing our IP address we set in the previous step. Same step for controller 2, that's already set, so we're all good there. Next, we're going to go down and create a pool, get things started for our storage. You're going to click on the pool section from storage management, create pool, choose what type of provisioning you would like to have, give the pool a name, select a preferred controller. You're going to want to go ahead and select which disks you're going to want to use for this pool. Here we're selecting these first 3 disks. Select your RAID level. Select any additional properties. And click Finish. After that is all set, we're going to go ahead and create a volume. Click on Create Volume. Enter a volume name, select the pool name if you had more than one, and then a capacity. Enter any additional settings that you might have, and click Finish. You'll see the status is erasing now. Depending on the size of the volume, this could take some time. While that's going on, we're going to go ahead and map this LUN over so we can assign it to our VMware ESXi host. So click on LUN mappings from the same storage management section. Click on Map LUN. Choose the volume that you'd like to have. Enter the allowed hosts IQNs. In this case, we're just going to use the star, meaning all hosts. Our target is target 0, and our LUN is LUN 0. You'd want to change these variables if you had different settings set, but in this case, we're good to move on. Now shows us we have all hosts allowed for this particular volume, we're going to need to move over to our ESXi host next for the next part of it. So you're going to want to go ahead and open up the vSphere client, go to the host that you have. Now, in this case, we're just connecting directly to one of our ESXi hosts. If you had a vCenter, you'd want to go through that method. Whenever the console loads, you'll see your host, and you're going to want to make sure that you have your network settings all set. Here we have two VMware kernel ports set on the same dissimilar IP address settings that we talked about before. Head into your storage adapters, into the iSCSI software adapter. View the properties of that. We have our network configuration using both ports there. And we're going to go ahead and start off by adding our first controller. And we're going to need this target name back from our storage array. So to find that, we'll click on the iSCSI ports section and the iSCSI targets. You're going to find the target name here at the top. Go ahead and copy that. Paste that in here. Then you're going to want to go ahead and do the same thing for the second controller. And make sure to copy the entire IQN address there because that is critical. Click OK on that. See both of our iSCSI server locations here. The 1.1 for controller 1, the 2.1 for controller 2. You can go ahead and click close there. Click yes to rescan the adapter. After a few moments, whenever the adapter has finished scanning, if everything is all set up correctly, you should see your volume down here with the LUN you assigned and the capacity. Right-click on this device to see the current path selection. Change this over to round robin if desired for a little bit more performance. Clicking on the path section, we should see both of them active. And you are all set to add the LUN to your host. Give it whatever name you'd like. And that's pretty much it.